I remember the next morning I woke up mad and she's like, "Are you serious?" Like I remember she was just like, "Why are you mad?" Like, bro, you just woke up. I'm like, "Bitch, you. What do you mean?" Like I was leaving that night, I think.
Mhm.
So I remember we went to eat breakfast and during we were eating, that's when I we were going more into it. Like I was getting even madder because of the things she was saying.
It was you were trying to explain to her. We went to Tandem to eat breakfast. You, me, and her. It was the three of us, and you were like it was really awkward. Like it was awkward because y'all were like you were upset at her, and she like
I think at the beginning I wasn't talking
yeah, it was awkward. Like it was awkward.
because I
And
was
then
processing everything too.
yeah, and then y'all at the table, you eventually brought it up, and you were
I don't know
making
if
your
she said something that triggered me that started because I remember I just started going in. I just remember I kept getting so more heated because I remember her validations was just stupid to me. Like I remember at one point she said, "Some people say I'm insensitive." Like I don't know what. Maybe they're just sensitive. Something like that. This isn't who you were, like when we were younger, you know. And I know that's part of life when you grow up with somebody, you know, they're not going to be the same person they were as teenagers. Trauma, things change them. I get that. But it was just the fact of like seeing how much she had changed in a year. Okay, like, mind you, me and her were never the type of people to even go clubbing. We weren't the type to go drinking, doing stuff like that. So seeing that now she is,
sheltered.
yeah, we were very sheltered, I guess you can say. Well, me not so, well, me and Kay, that's what I'm saying. Me and Kay were very sheltered by our mothers, but then we had our fathers that were opposite. So she understood that aspect of my life as well. And it was just crazy to see like her way of seeing it. Cause I remember that she said that. She was like, "Well, nobody told you to take care of her." And I was like, "So you wanted me just to leave her there?" It's not kind. I'm not saying I'm the nicest person either. I'm not. I'm not shit. I can't just leave a bitch, even if she wasn't with our group. And even you, like if you saw a random bitch just like, you know, alone and drunk, you would try to help her. Like there's just
You remember that girl at Ibiza? That one time you and me went and you were trying to make me feel better, so you agreed to go out to the club with me. So we were there, and then there was this girl, she was drunk as fuck, and she just joined us. Like she just joined us.
I
And we
don't
went up to that VIP spot for a little bit with her because she wanted to go up there. And we were trying to find her friends, but eventually someone found her. But she was with us for a hot minute.
yeah, like we bring them in. We're just like, okay, like I
Fuck
remember
it.
at one point you said something, like you were trying to defend me but without.
This is what I said because I was hearing both points of view and hearing your side, I was hearing Kay's side, and I could see where both of y'all were coming from. And I remember telling Kay, I was like, all there really needs to be is acknowledgement of her feelings of your actions. Like I feel like all she need like it's understandable she didn't see it as big of a deal as you did because she didn't live that situation. She wasn't taking care of a drunk person, so she doesn't know what you were feeling in that moment. And if she herself got drunk as fuck too, like
I
el
just
tiempo
think it
también se
was the
pasó.
whole thing too.
But
Like it was like the whole thing. Like one, like this was my last night with y'all. This was the night that you guys said you guys were gonna take me out. I'm in y'all's territory now.
to get drunk, yeah.
You guys were technically supposed to take care of me, like more K and J than anything. And I just
And you ended up taking care of someone else again.
and then them not even Jay saying like thanks for taking care of her, like nothing, like there was nothing, like if anything they just Jay, his reaction was more like he got mad at me for getting mad, and that hurt me so bad because I would have never done that to them.
Mm.
Like I that's what hurt. I was just like fuck, like I would never do that to y'all. Like and I remember like she was like, I remember she said it too, she's like, "I'm not apologizing." She was so like vocal about
I
it.
remember seeing your face like when she said that, bro. Like your semblante, you were like, damn bitch.
Yeah, because I know once she makes up her mind on something too, like there's no like convincing her. And I was just like, damn, that's so sad. Like I just
Honestly, all she had to say was, "I'm sorry." Like, even though she doesn't agree with how deep you're making the situation, but these are your feelings and this is how you feel. So the least she could do is, "I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I didn't realize like it was such a big deal to you, but I'm sorry." Like,
yeah,
so
and
simple.
I even told you I was like, I've forgiven her the moment it happened. That's why I even texted her to pick us up and we were laughing and eating tacos. I just thought while we were eating tacos, I was just gonna be like, bro, it hurt me that you fucking left me, and she was gonna be like, I'm sorry, and we could move on. I didn't know that she wasn't even gonna be able to see my point of view. And I was just like, okay, like, damn. And then that all happened the next morning. And what hurt me more was that she left. She left without even saying bye to me, knowing I was about to leave. I just remember I was crying at your place. Like, as soon as we got back to your place and she left, I was just crying. And you could feel my energy just go down. And what happened was that me and Kay have this. He's not my friend no more, but at the time he was me and Kay's friend that wasn't there that night. And I guess him and Kay met up. This was like, I think a month or two after I had came back. And so yeah, it was just big. Like I was just like, damn, because she was telling our mutual friend about it, and I'm like, damn, so you telling people about the situation, but you can't talk to me about it? Like, it's been a month and you still haven't talked to me about it, but you telling people about it, like. So I messaged her and I said, I called her. I remember I started calling her. She kept declining me, and I sent her a message. I'm like, bro, answer. Like, I want to talk to you. And I remember she said, still, I think I have it. Me, but I remember what hurt me too was the fact that when I was visiting, Kay would tell her mom that she's hanging out with me, but she's actually hanging out with Jay. And her mom would blow up my phone and be like, tell her to
No,
come home. Why do you still have her this late? And I'm like,
I remember that.
so who's she with? And that hurt me too. I remember that.
Didn't she call you? Didn't she her mom call you
Yes. And
when
I
we went to
still
Smoke?
acted like she was with me. I remember that broke my fucking heart that I knew they were hanging out together and they were like close like that. And I'm like, that's fine, but like, I'm really getting the shitty end of the stick here. And then bam, she blocked me. She didn't give me time, nothing. Like, and since that day, we haven't talked. And I remember that really crushed my fucking world. Like, I thought I was depressed before. No, like, that shit hurt. He ended up calling me last summer. I remember that happened. I think I told you. He ended up FaceTiming me and he said, listen, I don't know what you're mad at me for, but I'm sorry. He's like, I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry. And I was just like, okay. I've never felt like it was the same.
Yeah. I was gonna ask how you it made you feel, what he said.
I remember I
How
was still kind of hurt, but I was like, also, I'm in a place now where I know people aren't going to grow the same as you. Even if you come from the same city, same religion, same place, like, people don't grow the same as you. People aren't going to see things the same as you. And I'm seeing that now. Like, but it's like one of those things that taught me you're not going to be friends with everyone forever. That was one of the biggest things that, because these were people that since I'm talking about like 5 years old, was like, we're BFFLs. Like
yeah.
we're going to like fucking live together at one point. We're going to move in together at one point. Like, you know, like me and Kay would even talk about adopting a kid together. Like, I do remember, I think the first month of my depression was pure agony because I do this a lot, but I always end up putting the blame on me. Cause I remember I was telling him, like, was I tripping? Like, maybe it was me. Maybe I was too angry about the situation, or like maybe I invalidate my own feelings. Like always. I always do that. Like even if I'm not trying to purposely hurt somebody, I'm like, well, what if I was like I start like my BPD just starts going fucking crazy and like I'll even stay up thinking about this shit like full on 24 hours like tripping out. And I remember like at one point you were just like point blank we weren't supposed to leave you in there like that long. Like I remember that calmed me down so much that you said I was there too. It's like and I remember it cuz that I think I told you I'm like fuck bro, imagine if you weren't there and it was just me. I
Yeah,
it
it
would
would have
have
made me feel like you
probably
were throwing shit out of proportions, like that you were just being dramatic.
yes, yes. And they were at one point saying that I was like being over dramatic and just like
I remember, bro, like all you have to do is put themselves in your shoes. Like, if you were the one in there, this is the night that your friends told you, we gonna get you fucked up. Like, that was the purpose of the night, to get you fucked up. But some way, somehow, you end up taking care of someone. The issue here is not that you had to take care of someone, is not that it burdens you that you had to take care of that person. Is the fact that we, as your friends, were not there to look after you how we said we were going to. We didn't give you our end of the deal, and like that's what it was. And for them to not for a second put themselves in your shoes, it's like come on bro, like okay, you don't see it that way, and maybe she's overreacting a little bit, but she has a reason to, like just hear her out, put yourself in her shoes, like
but the craziest part of this whole story was that I think like a month prior of me going to Greenville, I had done this prayer where I was crying and crying to to God that basically like remove I think I told you to remove all my friends that weren't good for me.
I remember that. Yep.
And every time he takes out someone that I least expected, because I remember I even told you who I expected it was gonna be. And no, and no. I'm just no, I'm a walking oxymoron. If y'all don't know, that means I contradict my damn self. That's just how I am. Earl already knows. But I remember, like, I think 2 weeks prior to going to Greenville, Kay told me about this dude that gave her a tarot reading. And she was like, you should do it. And I'm like, okay, bet. Knowing tarot reading is not good for like spirituality and shit. I remember Earl kept telling me, I was like, why are you fucking with that shit? Like,
I was like, don't do it, bro. What the
and
fuck?
I'm like, bro, that shit not real. That shit not real. I remember I was like, that shit not real. Like, the tarot reading literally said that on my trip, a situation's gonna happen that causes a big fallout. And then he described the person I was gonna fall out with. Bro, as soon as he described the person, both me and him, he said, damn, this sounds a lot like Kay. I'm like, that's the first person. I'm talking about I started going crazy and started telling me to give me the tarot cards for yes or no questions. And I would ask him, I'm like, is it Kate? The card will come out yes 3 times, y'all. Like, I was like, no. So I
Yep.
talked to Kay about it. I'm like, Kay, this is what the tarot card said. And it said, me and you are going to fall out when I go to Greenville again. Like, I'm freaking out. I'm telling her I'm freaking out, bro. Like, I remember I was telling her, I'm like, bro, like, it's tripping me out. Like, I don't want us falling out. Like, you my bestest bitch. And I remember she assured me that was not gonna happen. And she's like, bro, me and you in this till the end. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's not me.
Mm.
Bro, it was her. Like, what the fuck? I was just like, yo,
Why do you?
bitch, you even had a warning you was gonna fuck me over. Like, it was foreshadowed, bitch.
But moral of the story, validate your friends' feelings. Even if they don't make sense to you, validate their
But
feelings.
yes, we'll be seeing more of these type of segments with Earl. We are gonna have other guests as well. But if y'all like it, let us know in the comments. Give us questions that we should talk about or topics that you guys want to hear. More opinions from us. And then, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Hold on. Thanks.